It's a ram pump! Alright, so this is just a little show and tell right now. I am actually going to build a better one later. So this here's my ram pump. And the only thing, I'm going to tell you right now, the only thing that I have bought for this ram pump, everything else is laying around, was these two flutter valves, or shutter valves, whatever the hell I want to call them. I got them online, and I did buy this garden hose spigot from another place, can't remember where. But anyway, so I've got $50 invested just in those three parts, give or take. So what happens is I have a 1-inch line running for about 100 feet up into the brook, about 4 or 5 feet higher than this pump is right now. And it just gravity fed right into here. So what it does is it comes in, there's back pressure in this line which keeps this valve shut. This valve here, it keeps it shut. So when the water comes slamming down into here, it closes this valve and opens this one. And then the pressure closes it back, and there's hardly any pressure left in there. This valve opens back up, and you see this quote-unquote wastewater, where it's getting the line to run again and then push water through it again. Now, this valve here is only open about halfway, and this is a 3/4 inch line, so 1 inch to 3/4, and I'm going to admit, this design here, this is the reason why I have all of this set up the way I do, is this doesn't work as efficiently, I think. It's moving a lot, it's trying to push a lot of water all at once. So what I got here is, it goes, for another 100 feet or so to my greenhouse, and it's going into a 100-gallon tank, or livestock tank, and I'll show you that in a bit. But yeah, it works pretty good. It keeps water flowing. It is making it so that I don't have to lug water. I hate lugging water. I still have to haul it around up there, of course, but it's a lot closer than right here. And I actually moved everything to this stream here because my other stream, where I normally have water hoses running from, has almost dried up. Does it every year, pardon me. So yeah, we'll go take a look at my inlet and the water. Okay, here's my 100-gallon stock tank. And there is the water that's being pushed by my ram pump. Now, it surges and there's air in there that gets pushed in through and all sucked in and all that. So that is why it surges. But it runs like this all day, every day. And as you can see, I've already taken water out today. This thing will be filled back up later on, sometime tonight. And as you can see from my 3/4 inch line, 1 inch from 3/4, I should have gone down to 1/2 inch line. But I didn't have 1/2 inch line lying around, and I didn't want to buy anything more than I had to. But it works great for what I'm doing. And it's not like I'm completely relying on it, even though it runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It supplies the little amount of water that I need. Now, you could rely on such a pump, but not for your house. I wouldn't recommend hooking this system up to your house, mainly because it would destroy stuff. because of the pressure that's constant motion. Little shot. And a big shot. But yeah, it's just down in there. About 100 feet away. I listen to it tick and click. Actually from here, can't see it with the camera. But from here, I can actually see it working. So let's go look at my inlet. Okay, here's my inlet. As you can see, nothing fancy. Just a pool by a culvert, side road. Water gets sucked in through there. And you can see that the way that's moving because of not only from water flow, but also because of the ram pump. You gotta think, the water's going in there, slamming into stuff, and so it's got pressure that goes. But it's nothing fancy. See the trees mother planted years ago. Stream bank restoration. Yeah, and then there's a line going on down through. Every once in a while I gotta get in here and fix this pool, but yeah. So let's go back and look at the ram pump. Okay, so like I was saying, I'm not moving a lot of water, but I'm asking this little pump to do a lot. So let me get sat down here. So what I'm going to do next time is I'm going to still keep my 1-inch line. Now my new one that I'm going to build is going to go way down there, and then I'm going to be asking it to do a lot. But I will be picking up some 1/2-inch line from somewhere. Hopefully with all this corona stuff that's going on, it's actually available. But anyways, I'm going to go from my 1-inch to my 1/2-inch. If not smaller if I can get it. And I'm actually going to switch this out to a ball valve. And I'm going to build it all out of steel pipe. So it's still going to have these 2 valves that I bought. It'll still be a 1-inch line for the whole pump. But it's going to have a air tank on it, or a pressure tank, as people I guess call them. And I'll have a, I guess they're about ball valve right here. But yeah, that way I'll be able to pressurize the system more slowly. And I also am curious about how much pressure is actually being put through here. So I'm going to put a pressure gauge on it probably. I don't know. Haven't made up my mind yet. But yeah, here's my little system. So I got 1 T, 1 elbow, and some PVC pipe. Oh, and then I reduced it. Instead of buying a reducer, I actually just shoved a piece of 3/4 threaded plastic into here and clamped it all together. But yeah, all day, every day. The only time I really have to fiddle with this system, and this is one of the reasons why I say it wouldn't be a good house well pump, if you've got a gravity well, is storms come through, rainstorms, and they wash out my pool. They'll fill the line with sediment, and then I have to flush everything out and reprime. So here's something that this line that I have, even though I only got about 100 feet or so, takes about 24 hours to fill and start pumping through to my tank. So I prime my line. And then it takes quite a while for my tank to fill from then on. But once it's been filled, it stays full until I use it. But yeah, it takes quite a while for it to get worked through and push the air out, all the excess big buildup of air. So I like to have my tank full, get a siphon going down here to the pump, and then hook it up. This line, my 3/4 inch outlet line, is primed, and so when I get my pump running, it is already pushing water back up through. And from where this pump is sitting, I'm only pushing it up, I don't know, 10 feet maybe, I don't know. It's about 5 feet-ish higher than the inlet up there. Just high enough so a siphon won't work. But far enough away from everything that I'd have to lug it. But yeah. But yeah, it's working. So like I said, this design works alright, but I'm building a better one later. And this is up here. This is up like this just to create that help create that back pressure to close this valve. And this design here, it does take some fiddlement adjustments, something vicious. Hence why I'm going with a different design, a more streamlined design. Yeah, just a fool. I'm just a fool experimenting and trying to make life easier. Seems how we're pretty dry around here. Well, I say we're dry. Look at all this greenage. I'm lucky. We live in a spot where there's a lot of water on the ground. For instance, this section here is too muddy to do anything with, and I mean anything. About 6 feet of frickin' mud. And it's just solid enough to trick you. But anyways, yeah, so that's my little ram pump. Not the best design, but I'm not asking for a lot of water. I'm asking for just enough water so I don't have to lug it quite a ways to my greenhouse, where I got tomatoes and a couple bathtubs with vegetables in them, and I also water my worms in there. And so yeah, and it puts the water source a little bit closer so I ain't got to draw off the house well and water my rabbits. And the other brook is producing just enough water to keep my ducks and chickens watered, because they're over on the other side of everything. But anyways, yeah. So that's that, and thanks for watching, and I will do, when I get all the materials I need for this other ram pump that I'm going to build, I'll do a video on how I built it. Okay, now I'll actually have a video. It'll be probably kind of long, like this one. It's only meant to be short. But eventually I'll have one of me building the ram pump and setting it up. So, talk to you later.